Good morning, everyone. It is I, A.Z. Hubbard, your host, um, here again this morning, waiting and getting ready to do this Amber Heard part 2 reaction of her video. And so, of course, she is doing what she's been doing. So what we're going to do now first, before we really get started into it, I am going to be using fair use. So I will read the Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair for use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal tips the balance in favor of fair use. We always got to take care of our house cleaning. So we're going to get right into this. First of all, before I start, I want to say that if you are a victim of domestic violence, please come forward, be it male or female. Amber Heard, it clearly states that, according to the jury, that she was untruthful. And so we're going to examine this video. Savannah Guthrie is the interviewer of NBC News Today. And as a journalist, I'll be critiquing her also because of the fact that sometimes mainstream media do not ask the hard questions. So let's get into this now and this interview.
Since the verdict, as you sit here with me now, has it sunk in?
How could it? It's surreal and difficult. In part, yes. This has been a long time coming.
Do you stand by?
Okay, so we understand that it hasn't sunk into her yet that she lost, like, big time. Johnny Depp won 5 out of 6 of his cases, and she won 1. And again, it wasn't based on anything Johnny Depp said. It probably lost because it was stating that her friends was involved in that particular statement that she won on. But okay, let's get it.
In part, yes. This has been a long time coming.
Do you stand by your testimony and your accusations against Johnny Depp about abuse?
Of course, to my dying day, will stand by every word of my testimony.
Say that again. I need to hear it. Amber, say it again.
The real-life drama of the defamation case between Amber Heard and her ex-husband Johnny Depp captivated millions of people around the world.
Amber Heard just got exposed.
Johnny, you hit me.
This is so cringe.
With clips spreading across social media.
Okay, one thing that I think that the interviewer and whoever edited this video for them needs to understand is that the jury was not on social media. So to inject social media into this is, just wrong. So I blame the editing of NBC on that. They shouldn't even injected social media
Like wildfire.
I think vast majority of this trial was played out on social media. I think that...
Okay, Amber, this is a trial with a jury. Social media and public opinion are two different things. The jury got to see selected evidence that we got to see what they saw based on the trial that we saw play out. All right. So, okay, Amber, let's get it.
This trial is an example of that gone haywire, gone amok. And the jury is not immune to that.
You think the jury saw it?
How could they not? I think.
Okay, so Amber, what you're saying is, let me get this straight. What you're saying is that the jury refused to follow the instructions of the court, and that they decided that forget what the judge says, forget the legal repercussions that could happen to me if I look at social media. I'm the jury and I'm going to look at social media. So now the jury is to blame. The jury broke the rules of the court and looked at social media. Is that what you're saying? Please tell me, please, that you are not saying that.
I think even the most well-intentioned juror, it would have been impossible to avoid this.
People online and crowds outside the courthouse made it clear where they stood.
Every single day I passed for 3, 4, sometimes 6 blocks, city blocks lined with people holding signs saying, "Burn the witch."
Okay. Well, that doesn't mean that that impacted the jury decision. And even if they saw the 6 blocks, maybe they went in a different direction. And even if the jury did go in the same direction, that doesn't mean that that affected their decision on the verdict. So, Amber, what are you talking about?
Death to Amber. After 3.5 weeks, I took the stand and saw just a courtroom packed full of Captain Jack Sparrow fans.
Okay, so because the courtroom was packed full of fans of Johnny Depp, not Captain Jack Sparrow or whatever, then the jury. Now you're saying that the jury know that the people in the courtroom are the fans of Captain Jack Sparrow, and so they decided to determine that you were not telling the truth and you were being untruthful. So how were they supposed to be able to distinguish between Johnny Depp fans and your fans? Or is it because you didn't have any fans? So exactly what are you saying, Amber? You're making absolutely no sense. Absolutely 0 sense.
Who were vocal, energized.
Can you put into words?
Okay, Amber, wait a second. Now, so you're saying that not only is it the fault of the jury and the people that's standing outside for 5 or 6 blocks with their signs, it's also the fault of the people that was in the gallery in the courtroom and that they were vocal. Are you kidding me? If they were really vocal, the judge would have admonished them. The sheriff would have escorted them out. I mean, Amber, what do you think? Do you think we did not look at this trial for 6 weeks? Girl, you are insulting our intelligence. I'm telling you.
How that felt.
This was the most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through.
Okay, so it's the most humiliating and horrible thing you've been through for 6 weeks. But Johnny Depp has gone through this for 6 years. Now, I'm not saying, neither one of y'all are perfect. Neither Johnny nor Amber. But for you to want to evoke some type of sympathy from us when you clearly sat there and lied and lied and lied again, you want us to have sympathy for you because 6 weeks you were called out on, what you said, what you testified to, what you brought into evidence. Okay, girl.
I have never felt more removed from my own humanity. I felt less than human.
Let's go.
Okay. I got to stop there because now she says she felt less than human. This is looking like she was when she was on the stand. This is appearing like her acting. So I want to know, girl, this is what I want. Are you going to cry because you said you felt less human? Are you getting ready to cry because you said you felt less human? I'm just asking because you testified in the courtroom to this horrendous SA and physical abuse, and not once did you cry. So now you feeling dehumanized. And so I just want to know, I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking. And remember, your own acting coach said that when you're acting, you can't cry. You have a problem crying. So this right here, when you said you felt dehumanized, it appears that this is a point where you should be crying, but you're not crying. It's just like your acting coach said in the trial, that you have an issue crying when you're acting. So my question again, Lord have mercy. Let's get back to this.
Back to the day of the verdict. Were you feeling confident?
That's a great question. I wish I could say yes to that.
This acting is just too much for me. It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much.
I want to say yes to you, but it wouldn't be true. Even if you think.
Okay. I know you didn't feel confident because you sat there and you heard all the evidence. You saw you and your witnesses being rebutted. You saw your witnesses and your evidence being destroyed. So I understand that you couldn't feel confident in this matter, okay?
That I'm lying. You still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation.
Okay. Now, this is the part. You can't tell me. No, you can't tell me that there was a fair representation. Girl, for 6 years, Johnny Depp had been dehumanized. He had been beat down. So what does social media have to do with the point, and whether people like you on social media or not? What does that have to do with the jury decision? She got excuses for everything. I'm so done with it. I'm done with her.
Find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation. Answer, yes.
After the 6-week trial, the jury found Heard defamed Depp in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed in which she wrote she was a public figure representing domestic abuse. She never mentioned her ex-husband by name. Depp denied the abuse allegations in court. Heard won just one of 3 claims in her countersuit against her ex-husband.
Yes, she didn't have to name him. It was obvious that it was him that she was talking about. And the jury found that. And so that's where we are. Yes, she won one. But again, if you read the language on the count that she won, it involved her friends setting up the house. And there was no evidence of that. There was nothing that supported that. That's the only reason she won on that claim. But yes, she did win on one claim.
Husband. That verdict came less than 2 years after a judge ruled against Depp in a similar case in the UK.
All right. So one thing that we have to make very clear, they always bring up the UK case. First and foremost, number one, the case was against the son, and they stated that he was a wife. So that is how, he won. There are different rules of evidence in the UK. As a matter of fact, it's been said that there was more evidence brought into the US case than the UK case. So she needs to miss us with this, that he lost in the UK. Also, one thing that the jury did not get an opportunity to hear is that Amber Heard had dinner with the judge, and that there's supposed to be some form of connection as far as people knowing people with the judge that determined the case in the UK, allegedly.
In which he sued a British newspaper that called him a wife beater.
There was another trial, dealt with the same substantive issues.
No, Amber. No. No, 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 no. We're not going to let you lie like that. We're not going to let you lie like We're not going to let you lie like that, Amber, because it was not the same. Johnny Depp was not allowed to bring a lot of evidence into court in the UK. It was a different kind of standard. So please, these are two different cases. And also, it was against the Sun. You were not a party to that case. You were just a witness. So they could not bring in evidence regarding disclaiming what you said. So let's just be clear on that and how the laws work in two different countries. Just like in the United States, from state to state, there's different types of laws. And there is also what's called rules of evidence in this country and also in the UK. What's admissible here in the United States is not admissible in the UK.
Even more evidence in. In fact, my evidence was largely kept out. Really important pieces.
Girl. Why you always lying? Also, some of Johnny Depp's evidence was kept out of here. Also, it was not just you. It was the rules of evidence. There was things that Johnny Depp team wanted to bring in that he wasn't allowed to bring in, just like you wanted to bring in. Just because you wanted to bring in some evidence, and just like Johnny Depp wanted to bring in some evidence, doesn't mean that it aligns with the rule of law. So again, miss us with that.
Of evidence kept out, done differently, handled differently by a judge instead of a jury.
Okay, there's the point right there. She was judged in the United States of America by 6 of her peers, 7 American citizens. Also, the judge, as I stated before, allegedly, Amber Heard, her attorney, and some other people had dinner together prior to the trial. There's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of things online. But again, this was not privy to this jury. And to me, it's better to have 7 people as a jury that make a decision than just one person. And also, all these jurors had to come to a unanimous decision, which means they all had to agree on what the evidence was, and they did. So you're saying it's easy to convince one person. I mean, but to convince 7 unanimously, girl, bye.
Some evidence is admissible in a UK court that is not admissible in a US court. Do you think that maybe he just had better lawyers?
I will say his lawyers did certainly a better job of distracting the jury from the real issues.
For some.
Okay, so forget about the evidence. Forget about the testimony. Forget about impeaching testimony. Forget about impeaching evidence. Forget about impeaching Johnny Depp's attorney distracted the jurors, and that's how they won. See, this is what we're talking about here. She doesn't take accountability for nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing.
People, they just were frankly disgusted by the whole thing and don't have much sympathy for either one of you.
Fact. Thank you, Savannah. You did a great job with stating that. Some people like me, no sympathy for either, but the truth, the most important thing is the truth come to light, that the truth prevails.
Can you understand that?
Absolutely. I would not blame the average person for looking at this and how it's been covered and not think that it is Hollywood brats at their worst.
Please, girl. Yes, it's Hollywood brats at their worst. We know that.
But what people don't understand is it's actually so much bigger than that. This is not only about our First Amendment right to speak.
But here's the thing.
Okay. See, nobody understands but Amber. You see, again, nobody understands but Amber. What people don't understand is so much bigger than that. It's about First Amendment rights. Girl, do you know what First Amendment rights mean? You cannot claim first. Yes, you have the right to say whatever you want to say, but there's consequences. Under First Amendment rights, you cannot lie. You cannot defame people. You cannot do that. Just because the First Amendment is there are certain things that's attached to the First Amendment. So please, girls, miss us with the First Amendment.
About the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects free speech. It doesn't protect lies that amount to defamation.
Woo! Yes, Savannah. I'm gonna have to give you your flowers on that, honey. You are definitely operating in a journalist role with that right there. Break it down to them.
Was the issue in the case?
Yes, exactly. You can't go into the free speech does not protect you if you go into a crowded theater and you scream fire.
Okay, so now you understand what First Amendment rights is, right? You can't go into a crowded theater and scream fire. That's the same thing. That means that you cannot go out here and defame someone, make charges on someone that could put them in prison for the rest of their life, just because you want to say it. You can't go out here and write articles, op-eds, defaming people, and then hide under the banner of First Amendment rights. That's not how it works, Amber. It's just not how it works.
We get the concept of free speech from the Greeks. My understanding of what that means is not just the freedom to speak. It's a freedom to speak truth to power.
Right. It's a freedom to speak truth. But see, Amber, what you're missing here is that the jury found that you weren't speaking no truth. Okay, that's what the jury found, that you were not speaking truth. So that's why you lost, and you defamed him with malice.
But truth is the word.
Yes.
And that was the issue.
And that's all I spoke.
Thank you, and thank you, Savannah. Now, she says that she just spoke truth. She said, "You just spoke truth." Is that what you just said? I'm just like, I cannot.
And I spoke it to power, and I paid the price.
No, you lied, and you paid the price. That's what happened. That's what generally lying does. There's a consequence to everything. You lied and you paid the price. That's what the jury said.
In the closing arguments, the Depp lawyer called your testimony the performance of a lifetime and said you were acting. What do you say to that?
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers.
Okay. See, what she's doing here is gaslighting. Now, for her to make a reference of the movie Edward Scissorhand, which I don't know if somebody watched that or not, it was, he had scissors for hands. But now recall that Johnny said that she cut off his finger, when she threw the bottle and his finger became dislodged from his body. So she is really gaslighting. She thinks she's funny, but that is not funny. So I want to make a point here that what she just said is deeper than what a surface thing, as far as, he's not Edward Scissorhand. No, she is gaslighting here by stating that and referencing that movie.
I'm the performer. I had listened to weeks of testimony insinuating that, or saying quite directly that, I'm a terrible actress. So
yeah, you're terrible. In my opinion, I'm not going to say, I've never seen anything you're in. The only role that I've seen you play is the role of a lifetime in court in Fairfax, Virginia. That's the only role that I saw you play in. And I must say, if I have to judge your acting by that, then in my opinion, nobody else's, you are not a good actress. And remember, even your acting coach said that you can't cry when you're acting. So, girl.
I'm a bit confused how I could be both.
The Depp team argued that you were the abuser, that you instigated physical violence. Did you?
I never had to instigate it. I responded to it.
Okay. Now, there was mounds of evidence that Amber Heard was the aggressor in these altercations. Johnny Depp had evidence after evidence, and even evidence that she brought in, proving that when she got aggressive, that he ran to the bathroom or he went somewhere else. He was trying to disassociate himself, distance himself from her because she was becoming violent. But now she was responding. Was she responding because he was trying to get away? Girl, I'm just saying.
When you're living in violence and it becomes normal, as I testified to, you have to adapt.
You say you were responding, but
okay. So even women and men that have been in DV situations, SA situations, and have lived it, have said they don't believe her. Why is she trying to fabricate? Why is she fabricating this, trying to say that this is something that happened to her and that she's trying to use someone else's story? The jury made their decision.
there is evidence. There are tapes in which you acknowledge hitting. There are.
Thank you, Savannah. Savannah, I'm going to have to give you right now. I'm going to have to give you 100 on this, your journalism skills here, because you coming with receipts, baby.
Tapes in which you say, I started the fight.
I know much has been made of these audio tapes. They were first leaked online after being edited. What you would hear in those clips are not evidence of what was happening. It was
okay, Amber. See, what you failed to realize is that the jury did not get edited tapes. All right, they did not get edited tapes. What you see online is one thing. The online did not make the determination that you were guilty of defaming Johnny Depp. And here we go. It was online. It was this. It was that. We're talking about what the jury saw, the people that made the decisions, what the jury heard, what the jury determined. And here she goes to online, never taking accountability, never taking the responsibility for anything. Absolutely nothing.
It's evidence of a negotiation of how to talk about that with your abuser.
But I am looking at a transcript that says, he says, you start physical fights, and you say, I did start a physical fight. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. I mean, this is in black and white. I understand context.
Whoop! Oh, Savannah. Yes, honey. Bring those receipts. You cannot lie when I got receipts. But Amber Heard is going to continue to lie. She's going to continue to lie. I don't care how many receipts you bring her, how much evidence you put before her, she is going to lie. But one thing about it, it doesn't matter what she thinks. It mattered what the jury thought, what the jury perceived, what the jury understood, and what the jury determined was the case. Not Amber Heard, not even us.
But you're testifying and you're just telling me today, I never started a physical fight, and here you are on tape saying you did.
As I testified on the stand about this, is that when your life is at risk, not only will you take the blame for things that you shouldn't take the blame for, but when you're in an abusive dynamic, psychologically, emotionally, and physically, you don't have the resources that, say, you or I do with the luxury of saying, hey, this is black and white, because it's...
You had to girl. I'm not. I'm gonna let her go.
Anything but when you're living in it.
But then there are other times, there's another tape where you're taunting him and saying, oh, tell the world, Johnny Depp, I, a man, am a victim of domestic violence.
20-second clips or the transcripts of them are not representative of even the 2 hours or the 3 hours that those clips are excerpt.
Okay, Amber Heard, you have to also realize is that the jury received this evidence. You're referencing online. Please tell me you're kidding. Please tell me you're kidding right now with what you're saying, because it makes no sense.
Could your side have just put the whole 3 hours in then?
I'm not a lawyer. As I testified to, I was talking in those recordings as a person in extreme amount of emotional, psychological, and physical distress.
See, again, takes absolutely no accountability. None. Zero. No accountability.
He says he never hit you. He never. Is that a lie?
Yes, it is.
Okay, whoa, Amber. You might want to check with your attorneys. Didn't you just lose a defamation case? You just lost the defamation case. You up here talking about the defamation cases that you lost, and now you are defaming him on NBC Today, saying that Johnny Depp is lying. Girl, you better talk to your attorney about what you're doing on this interview, because honey, if he needs to shut you down, because here you are yet again defaming him. And for people that say, well, he shouldn't take the money, yes, he should take the money. He should take the money, because if he doesn't require Amber Heard to pay him, she's going to continue to do this. See, just like now, she just defamed this man again. Yes, Johnny Depp, go get your money. Go get your money, Johnny Depp.
What about the witnesses who said they have seen you instigate physical violence?
I've seen firsthand how people will file rank and support the person they depend on.
Did they all come in and lie in court?
Thank you, Savannah. So everybody is lying again, just like Camille Vasquez, good girl, came, and when she cross-examined her, everybody's lying. Everybody coming in and lying. Only Amber is telling the truth. Even your own witnesses that testified to certain things are lying. Everybody is lying on Amber. Amber is the only truth teller. She is the only truth seeker. She is only the beacon of light of truth. Everybody else are liars, according to Amber Heard.
I am not here to call any of his witnesses any names.
But you just did. You just did. You just called them flat out liars. You said that they filed rank and suit. So in order for them to file and rank, then they're not telling the truth. This is not the first time you said it, but okay, whatever.
I'm here to just kind of talk about it from what it felt like for me as a person who sat there.
When I asked his lawyers, why do you think you won? And the answer I got was, because she never took responsibility.
Oh, yes. Because she never took responsibility. Thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Savannah, for that question. She never takes responsibility for anything. Absolutely nothing. No responsibility. Everybody else is at fault. It's the jury. It's the judge. It's the lawyers. It's the people in the gallery at the courtroom. It's the people that are out there supporting when she leaves trial. It's everybody. It's social media. It's the social media accounts. It's everybody but you, Amber. Everybody but you.
For anything she did in the marriage.
I did do and say horrible, regrettable things throughout my relationship. I behaved in horrible, almost unrecognizable to myself ways. There's so much
Oh, it was recognizable to you, Amber, because that's who you are. And unless Savannah had not asked that question, you wouldn't even said that. And that's the only thing that you've said. And the only reason you said it is because she called you on the mat.
so much regret. I freely and openly and voluntarily talked about what I did. I talked
No,
about,
you did not. No. You see, Amber forgets we watched this trial for 6 weeks. No admission was made, and the only partial admission that she made to doing certain things was not until Camille Vasquez cross-examined her, impeaching her with evidence. And then she still gave excuses. This child needs some help.
the horrible language. I talked about being pushed to the extent where I didn't even know the difference between, right and wrong.
Well, then you need to go get some help. You need to go get some help. If you don't know the difference between right and wrong, which we understand now, you need to go get some help. Do you really believe that, or you just saying that because Savannah asked you that question? We're going to see as she goes forth in this interview.
Will always continue to feel like I was a part of this, like I was the other half of this relationship, because I was.
Yeah, you were. And according to the evidence, you're the one that was the aggressor. You're the one that abused Johnny Depp, according to the evidence that was presented in court. Okay? So let's not sit here and pretend that you were not the one. All right?
And it was ugly and could be very beautiful. It was very, very toxic. We were awful to each other. I made a lot of...
See, now, as you notice, even in her quote unquote taking responsibility, she's still blaming somebody else. So let's just talk about what you did. Don't say we were awful to each other. We already know that both of you were awful to each other. Yes, we know that. But what about you? You're sitting here during this interview. When you're taking responsibility, it's like an apology. Don't put a but or an attachment or a reason why. Just apologize. It's right here. You need to just take responsibility for your part in what you did. You can't answer for him. He took responsibility when he was on the stand. What about you? What did you do? You need some help as far as being able to take responsibility, not attach anybody else to it. Don't attach the jury. Don't attach the judge. Don't attach the attorneys, the people in the crowd, the fans outside, social media, or whatever. Don't attach nobody. Just say what you did. That's how you take responsibility, Amber Heard.
A lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. But I've always told the truth.
She said what? She said she always told them the truth. What? Say what? Girl! Why are you always lying? Girl, stop it.
Heard's lawyers say they plan to appeal that verdict. And as for the notion from Heard that there was evidence allowed in that UK trial that could have potentially made a difference last week, Depp's attorney said here on Today that the evidence presented in the latest trial far exceeded the UK one. Two different processes.
Thank you, Savannah. Yes, the evidence far exceeded the evidence that was in the UK trial. And if she's going to appeal, this is what I say to Johnny Depp. This is what you need to do, Johnny. Go get your money. Do not forgive this debt. Because if you forgive this debt, she's going to keep doing what she's doing, taking no accountability. What you need to do, Johnny Depp, is this. You need to get your money from her. Because she don't understand. That's the reason for punitive damages. Because she doesn't understand. Even today, she was up here. Amber Heard was up here defaming Johnny Depp again. She doesn't understand. He's going to have to get his money. He needs to get his money.
processes, and they believe the jury got it right. Well, we have a lot more of our conversation to share with you tomorrow morning on Today. Amber Heard and her
Amber, after 3.
Well, one thing that I'm going to say here is that, again, we're going to be back tomorrow, probably early morning, earlier than today. But Johnny Depp need to get his money from her, because if he forgives this debt, she is going to continue to do what she does. Nobody should guilt him into not getting this money. I know he has a kind soul, but he needs to get his money from her, because she doesn't understand, or nor does she take accountability, responsibility, until she has to pay and suffer financially or whatever way it is. She's not going to understand. He needs to collect this money. He needs to collect it. And I'm not mad at him for collecting it. He can donate it after if he wants to. He can, pay his bills or whatever. But he needs to collect this money from her, because she is on a rampage. She is still continuing. She doesn't know how to stop. Even today in this interview, we all heard it. She's still defaming him, calling him a beater. See, so that's why it's important for Johnny Depp to get his money. He needs to get his money. I need Johnny Depp to say this right here. I'm going to need my money today. Yes, Johnny Depp, get your money from her. She does not understand. She refuses to take accountability. She refuses to take any form of accountability. Even in her quote unquote taking accountability, she pulls somebody else into the fray. I would suggest that her attorneys, which, all of this is pre-recorded, but, in this interview, she's already defamed him again, so there's no stopping her. She says that she wants to have, live her life, go on in peace and quiet. And, but you're still here, Amber. You're still here with the same lie, trying to convince people when there was so much evidence. I mean, people that have been abused. I mean, we see it in the comment sections. People, they don't believe you. Like I stated, when I first started watching the trial, I came in totally neutral. I liked some of Johnny Depp's movies, the older ones, but I never really kept up with him. He was not just somebody I kept up with. I had never heard of Amber Heard. And when I gave both of them, clean slate. But I tell you, the point where I said, the first day she testified, it was a little shaky, stuff. So, but, things happen. But when she said this, I took everything she said with a grain of salt. She would have to prove everything to me. When she said that she was assaulted with a bottle and that she didn't know whether the bottle was broke or not, and she was bleeding and she did not seek medical attention. No, baby. Any woman that can go through that and not seek medical attention, there is something wrong. Either you got something down there that no other woman got, or you lying. Okay? If you say that you were assaulted with a bottle and you did not seek medical attention, like I said, two things. Either you got something special down there that no other woman has, or you're lying. So when she stated that, I was done with that. And then you say you want children. You wanted children. But you said that she was assaulted there and did not receive medical attention, did not want any help. No medical records. You didn't know if the bottle was broken. You didn't know, there could have been shard glass in there or whatever. But hey, you just got up and took some sleeping pills and went to sleep. Girl, bye. When she said that, it was over for me. Everything she said from that point on was questionable to me. Now, I'm sure everybody else had their point where they began to question, what she was saying or whatever. But for me, that was the point. So anyway, everybody, we're going to, we've gone through this video. Replay crew, thanks. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you all subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we'll be back tomorrow with, there's another part of this interview that we're going to break down. We're going to break it all the way down, and, because it was something else. It just, there's 3 parts to this. This is the first part. I reviewed the snippet the first day, yesterday, but today, this part, and tomorrow I'll put the thing out so you all can hit the notification bell so you can join us. Thank you again for allowing us into your homes. You don't have to, and I really appreciate it. And so I thank you so much again, and you all have a very blessed day. Bye.